Houston, a Synergy Broadcasting Company. KQQB, Stockdale, San Antonio. Talk that inspires change. Music that revives memories. The powerful 1520.
Good morning and welcome to Zakiya Larry Live. If you are still hanging around from the Les Brown Motivational Hour, good morning, welcome. I'm Zakiya Larry. You're listening to Zakiya Larry Live. So here's the thing. The entire purpose for this show is to help you elevate. We talk about real life, real talk, real change. And so we really get into issues that affect all of us, but it's not just enough to talk about it. We then get into practical tools to elevate yourself, your brand, or your life. And so I am so excited about our show today. As a matter of fact, while I am talking, when things jump out at you that you want to talk about, make sure that you give us a call here at the studio. Talk directly to me, 832-230-5592. But if you're an online kind of person, make sure you go to Facebook and take a look at KYND Radio. I've also shared the link on my Facebook page, Zakiya Larry. So that's ZAKIYALARRY. And you can always hang out with me on ZakiyaLarryLive.com. So now that we've gotten that housekeeping, because you are going to want to talk about this subject, I got to tell you, I am so excited about today's topic because just a few days ago, I was very honored to MC the screening of a movie that is just celebrated at Sundance, has incredible accolades, and it's called Misrepresentation. And this movie, it's really a film. It's a documentary, and it talked to incredibly powerful leaders, everyone from Cory Booker to Condoleezza Rice to Jane Fonda, and talked to them about media and the impact media has had on society. And the stats are stunning. The stats are absolutely stunning. When you look at the number of girls, specifically girls who started out wanting to be president. As a matter of fact, the film shares with us that around the age of 7, boys and girls at an equal number say that they want to or could become president of the United States of America. By the time they reach 15, more than 60-70% of those girls have dropped off in believing that they can do that. But guess what? They've been bombarded with media messages as well. And so there has to be a very clear link and a very clear tie. So please check out Misrepresentation, because this is what inspired me to have this show today. Our topic is fake news. Today's topic is fake news, media versus self-esteem. And so I have some powerful women here that are going to talk about this. In the studio, I have with me Sonia Sloan, Dr. Sonia Sloan. She's the founder of Me and We. She's also an orthopedic surgeon, correct? Am I saying that correctly?
Right. Yeah.
And I'm going to ask her to introduce herself a little deeper, but let me give you this quick rundown so that you know this is where you need to be. Obviously, we've got Dr. Sonia Sloan, and I also have 2 recent college graduates. One of them happens to be my associate producer. You all know this young lady, Ashlyn Beeman. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
So she's over here working and grinding and multitasking, working in media and being a recent graduate, so that's super exciting. And we also have Valerie Madison, the founder of Her TSU. It's a women's group on the campus of Texas Southern. Valerie is a recent graduate as well. And then we have Khadija Sai, who is a college student. And so we're spanning the generations here. And then we're going to have later in the show, you're going to hear from the team that created this film, this groundbreaking film, Misrepresentation. We are going to be talking to Christina Escobar, who works with the Representation Project as a director of communications. We got a full house today, y'all. Yay. This is exciting. So, you know what? I just want these young ladies to just say hello really quickly. But first, let me start with Dr. Sloan. Dr. Sloan, good morning.
Good morning. Awesome Monday.
It's awesome. Yep. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, love it. Thank you for letting me be here.
My pleasure. Dr. Sloan, and we're going to get into more of who you are and what you do, but orthopedic surgeon, but you also have a passion for empowering women.
Yeah, motivating and empowering women to excel, me and we. It's
wow.
The whole idea of take care of you first, and then you can help someone else.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I touched on women in leadership and how even girls don't even think that's possible for them. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the messages that they see in media affects that. And we're going to unpack that in a second. But what I will say is there's a struggle in working in a male-dominated field.
You got it.
And you are a woman in a male-dominated field, and you're the first in another arena. Can you tell us about that really quickly?
In orthopedic surgery as well as general surgery, I was the first here at Baylor College of Medicine in Houston to graduate. So that was 2006. So the fact that you're
the first black woman to graduate from the Baylor College of
Medicine, the orthopedic surgery department, and as well as the first intern in general surgery. So for those years to be in the 1999 and 2006 area is just unprecedented because it took that long. But, you know, we talk about media, but it was also the fact that I never saw it growing up. Exactly. You know, my mom was a nurse. I saw the hospital and that kind of thing, but I never saw a black doctor. I never saw a black female doctor. Wow. So it was one of those, you tell me I can't, then I'm going to try to do that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. And we're going to touch on that because you said you never saw that. And I do still think that's a function of media. Because media drives our understanding of our world.
Exactly.
As a matter of fact, when I travel internationally, some of the questions I get are based solely off of the television shows people have watched.
Isn't that crazy?
And so I've had other cultures who can't even speak English come up to me and give quotes from movies. And I've also been asked, this was a few years ago, if I knew Michael Jackson. Not knew of him, but like just personally, if I knew, you know, and so.
It's a black thing.
It's a black thing. Michael, it's three black people in America. Well, and even when I visited South Africa, I had kids come up to me and say, I didn't know there were black people in America.
What?
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
Because what they see.
Perception is
and
everything.
We live here, and you did not see a black female doctor.
Nope.
And the continent of Africa didn't know that it was a whole group of us over here as well. And so that's what we're talking about in part today. But also we have in the studio, Ashlyn, tell us who you are and what you're doing right now.
So I just graduated in May.
Woohoo!
Congrats. And I'm just
from where?
From Prairie View University.
Yay! That's okay. I graduated from Texas Southern, but I love Ashlyn. She makes great decisions, so that's okay.
Yes, and right now I'm just focused on like finding what I'm best at. Yes. So I'm just exploring all PR, radio, just all around communications and just figuring out where God wants me. So
I love
that's
that.
all. Just open to whatever.
Absolutely. We also have Valerie Madison. Val, what's up? Tell us about yourself.
I would say I guess I'm a lover of all people.
Okay.
Very deeply involved in the community, especially with Her TSU, which is something that I started at Texas Southern University for the young ladies to be empowered and feel like they have a place where they belong and grow on multiple levels. I did recently graduate, too, from Texas Southern. So shout out to all the Tigers out there. But, yeah, so just like Ashley, I'm trying to find myself and my passion, what God wants me to do. I have so many things that I want to do, but I know he's probably laughing because he already knows where he wants me. So I'm trying to trust in that and be confident in what I can bring to the table so he can place me there.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, Khadijah. Good morning. We need you to get on the mic, ma'am. Khadijah, tell us about yourself.
I actually go to TSU right now. I'll be graduating in May.
Good
job.
I'm
very excited.
Yay.
I'm a psychology major, actually, so I've got all these PR people in here with me.
Wonderful.
Yes, I'm very excited. I'm going to work in the mental health field. Hopefully, so I'm already doing that right now.
Yeah.
Good.
Wonderful.
Well needed.
And then, like I said, we have Christina Escobar coming up, who is at the helm of this film, The Misrepresentation Project. And we're going to get into this. But listen, but first, before we do this, you know my favorite segment that I love to do. It's called Wait, What? It's called
Wait, what?
So, it's always about what's something that made you say, wait, what? And, of course, we're talking about perceptions and media. And that's going to get a little deep. We're going to go there. We're calling some people out. But here's my wait, what question. Because we know media, what you see in media, often we try to be or recreate. Mm-hmm. So on a fun side, what's something, maybe a look that you've tried to recreate and it just didn't work out? You just had to say, wait, what? So let me give a quick example, because everybody in here is just so well put together, honey. They may not have a testimonial, I do. So first, who used to watch the Cosby Show? Like,
all of us.
Everybody, right?
Yeah.
That's the media that helped me, right?
Right.
So does anybody remember the episode when Theo wanted a Gordon Gartrell shirt?
Yes.
He needed this designer shirt, right?
Yes.
Media, like
Hot
everybody
mess.
has it. And then he got his sister to make one. It was
Terrible.
Like Sonya said, a hot, terrible, flaming mess.
Mm-hmm.
This man wore it anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, and just thought he was just living his life, honey. And it ended up working out.
Created a trend.
Created a trend with his messed up, hot mess Gordon Gartrell knockoff shirt that Lisa made. That was hilarious. So, of course, that was like, wait, what? Theo, come on. So what's something you've tried that, you maybe have seen a commercial or you've seen in popular culture, like, ooh, this is for me. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, it was a wait, what moment. Does anybody have an experience
Okay, so
with that?
the whole Louis Vuitton shoes.
Yeah.
Okay, so number one, if you can try to even afford them. But the next thing was like, wait, what? I can't get my foot in that.
What is that about?
It's like, I'm going to pay all this money and try to be cute, but it hurts my feet. I'm not going to do it. I can't do it. So, yeah, that's, wait, what?
That right, absolutely. That's right.
My foot is too wide for that shit.
Yeah, right.
I want them to.
I tried a 12, and that's too big.
They have a new market if they would come on with the wide feet women.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? We just gave you a business idea.
I mean, right?
Hashtag
Entrepreneurs
Louboutin
right
wide.
here.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
We want to cut, but we need you to create some wide Louboutins, because nobody. That's a total wait. What?
It's a wait. What? Don't
right.
put your foot in there.
Do not do it.
Don't do it.
Dr. Sloan said don't. But you're an orthopedic surgeon.
That's even worse. Yes. It's like, don't squeeze the toes. No, that's a no-no.
Oh, see, I'm super shady. I was going to say do it and then call Dr. Sonia. So I'm sorry. I had the wrong approach in life. You got to watch me. That is a hilarious wait. What? So listen, if you are listening, go to Facebook, use hashtag ZL Live. Tell us your wait, what? What have you seen in media that you tried to recreate and it was a hot mess? Mm-hmm. You can also call us at 832-230-5592. Tell us your wait, what throughout the show. But also, this is your chance to weigh in. How has media impacted you? And what have you been struggling with? Right?
That's good.
And because of what you've seen in society. But that was my favorite segment. Wait, what?
Wait, what?
Oh, my gosh. That Gordon Gartrell.
That was
Between
hot
Gordon
mess.
Gartrell and Louboutins, y'all,
Yes.
we are out here struggling. So listen, we are going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we are digging into some of the themes in the Misrepresentation Project. And we're talking
Zakiya
to
Larry
women
Live.
across the board about our experiences. We'll be right back. It's Zakiya Larry Live.
Zakiya Larry Live. Everybody has a past, so together we'll use all of it to unlock your purpose. It's about real life, real talk, real change. Welcome to Zakiya Larry Live.
Police say a man and his 2 children.
We are so excited at KYND to have back the hit show Do What I Say, featuring Dr. Polly Heil Neely. Doc, tell them a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, we're a holistic healthcare clinic. We do everything holistic at Abundant Health and Wellness Clinic, and that's located at 323 East Main Street in downtown Humble, Texas. Or you can call us 281-312-2860.
Tune in every Wednesday at 11 a.m. on KYND.
Arrived to retrieve the people Saturday. No injuries were reported. Officials say some Mexican nationals were among the survivors and those who died on a tractor trailer found at a San Antonio Walmart. Officials are working to identify the survivors and notify family members. With the news flash, I'm Trey Westerberg on 1520 KYND.
Elevate your week with me, Zakiya Larry of Zakiya Larry Live, every Monday at 10 a.m. on KYND 1520 a.m.
In a world where the divorce rate is at an all-time high, we're here to offer you real-life relationship advice to help you navigate to and through your marriage.
Whether you're single or married, join us every Wednesday at 7 p.m. for your Love Empowerment Hour with our new show,
Sitting with the Suttons, where we're all about strengthening our community by making marriage great again. Find us on Facebook at Tristan and Cece. Whether you're single or married, join us every Wednesday at 7 p.m. for your Love Empowerment Hour, Sitting with the Suttons.
Sitting with the Suttons, Wednesdays, 7 p.m. on 1520 KYND.
Credit scores to everyone for free, even if you're not a customer. And checking your score won't hurt your credit. We call it the Discover Credit Scorecard. And once you know your score, you should check to see if your current credit card is the best fit for you. Check your credit, compare your card. Go to discover.com/credit scorecard. Limitations apply.
Let's talk about the KYND
just got better. And the Hills Parkway Family Zakiya just got hotter.
July
so hot
6th,
that they're giving away a Yeti cooler with every new car purchase. It's a great way for you to chill out during Parkway Family Zakiya's huge Summers on Us sales event.
Can I tell you how excited we are about being at the KYND? I mean, look at y'all. Look at y'all. This right here is like amazing.
Hi, this is Nicole R. Coleman, host of the new show, Super Bold Live. Each week, I will feature real people just like you that have stepped out on faith, overcome fear, and made bold moves that transform their lives. We are creating a community of game changers. Listen in each week and let's help you unleash the power within. Bold talk, bold impact, bold transformation. Be sure to connect with me at www.livesuperbold.com.
Super Bowl Live with Nicole R. Coleman, Tuesdays, 7 to 8 p.m. on 1520 KYND.
The power is here. KYND brings you star power. Yolanda Adams.
People are rescued from the Gulf of Mexico about 12 miles off the coast of Galveston.
Les Brown on KYND.
You have something special. And sent out its rescue boat to collect the stranded boaters. A Coast Guard vessel arrived to retrieve the people Saturday. No injuries were reported. With the news flash, I'm Trey Westerberg on 1520 KYND.
Access the power at KYNDradio.com.
We are so excited at KYND to have back the hit show, Do What I Say, featuring Dr. Polly Heil Neely. Doc, tell them a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, we're a holistic healthcare clinic. We do everything holistic at Abundant Health and Wellness Clinic, and that's located at 3...
Misrepresentation, that's the name of a film, but it's also about the perception of women and how media drives that, especially the negative stereotypes, and how that affects women ascending to leadership positions and even their self-esteem because of these derogatory images. I'll add this really quickly. I just got in last night, I don't even know, from New Orleans, and I spoke at a conference for HBCU students, 200 students, and I really went in to empower them and help them to elevate throughout their year. Here's what I kept hearing, though, and I'm joined in the studio with Dr. Sloan, and my guests are going to tell you again who they are, but a lot of the questions of the undergrads, it was not about career. It was not about path. They were asking self-esteem questions because they felt like they could not live up to certain standards.
Wow.
And so that's why this discussion is critical, because students in undergrad are dealing with this. Women in the workforce are dealing with this. And often the image of a woman who is not powerful or empowered or over-sexualized is continually being pushed. And so to that point, so that the viewing audience, if you're watching us on Facebook, be sure to share this. This is huge. You're going to want to join this conversation. Or if you're listening on KYND, I want you to take a look at a bit of a trailer for misrepresentation, because you are going to understand this conversation that we're having. Take a look right now. Thank you.
Message and the messenger. And increasingly a powerful one.
In a world of a million channels, people try to do more shocking things to break through the clutter. They resort to violent images, or sexually offensive images, or demeaning images.
When is it gonna be enough? There is no appreciation for women intellectuals.
It's all about the body, not about the brain.
You all saw the photo from the weekend of Hillary looking so haggard and looking like 92 years old.
Breast implants. Did you have them or not?
If you waterboarded Nancy Pelosi, she wouldn't admit to plastic surgery.
The fact that media are so derogatory to the most powerful women in the country, then what does it say about media's ability to take any woman in America seriously?
I have close friends that will go to the bathroom and put on like 10 pounds of makeup, and you're at school to learn.
I remember 5th grade, I was worrying about.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's just a piece of that trailer.
It's just devastating.
It's devastating.
But you realize we see it every day, though.
Every day.
It's in our face. It's so in our face.
What's devastating about that? Because Dr. Sloan, you're an orthopedic surgeon, a male-dominated field, and you see these same images every day.
I think I try to ignore some of them or screen some of those things out because I know some of the damage to it, but we're still so privy to it. But I have 2 young daughters, 11 and 9, that I don't want them to become susceptible to this, and they already are. It's like my daughter's killing me with, I want to be on Snapchat because everybody else is on there. Wanting to wear makeup, wanting to wear certain types of clothes because that's what the media puts out there. That's what they see. That's what they know. And trying to teach self-esteem and fighting the media, that is an ongoing daily battle.
Right.
Daily battle.
Because you almost can't even close your eyes anymore, because I know that there were certain shows I couldn't watch when I was growing up. But what you can't control is when you're driving your child to school and the billboard is there of a scantily clad woman. Or when you hear people say things about you. I'll use this as a quick example because I want to hear from our ladies in the studio who are currently in college and recent graduates who are looking at going into the workforce. But I will add this, and Dr. Sloan, you may resonate with this. So I work obviously in media, but I'm also a strategist. And so I bring strategy to everything I do. So there was a meeting that was being absolutely derailed. I mean, it was just going off the hinges. And one of my contacts called me to come into that meeting. And as a matter of fact, because I'm a listener, because I'm a journalist, because I'm a strategist, I was able to listen to the person that was essentially about to throw this deal out the window. And I was able to say, oh, what I hear you saying is, using, communication skills and stuff I went to school for. One-on-one. After I essentially came in and reset the tone for that meeting and had everybody shaking hands at the end, the colleague that invited me in said, oh, it was great to have you there. We needed a feminine energy.
Ooh.
Disgusting.
Boo for that, yeah.
Boo, disgusting. And I look at this person differently because that's not the first time things like that have been said.
Yeah.
But that was the last straw for me. So you didn't see the level setting. You didn't see that I took time out of what I was doing and literally left another meeting that I was in to come in and support and be a colleague and lend my brilliance. And that's not ego. Yeah. I'm very clear on what I have and what I did. And you boiled that disrespectfully down to a feminine energy, as if I was some prop that was set up there to calm people down because it was something to look at. And this is the type of foolishness that permeates the workforce.
You got it.
And is reinforced by media. So, I still sometimes work with this person, but I got to tell you, it's hard to even stomach the idea of being around this person because I now know how you think. And now that I'm clear, some changes have been made.
Exactly.
But we can't all be like, I ain't working with you no more. Right? So I have that luxury. Many people don't.
Yeah.
Sonia. Yeah. So I know that was an exciting segue into the world of careers for our new graduates. Y'all ready? Yay. So that was super awesome. Go Zakiya. Thank you.
No, but that was actually good because that's the other part of the motivating and empowering women that I want to do is like, let's give you guys a reality check because you are beautiful and you are brilliant, but guess what? Sexism, racism, all those things, ageism still exist. Yes. And if you come out somewhat sheltered, as I know my kids are, you're going to come out and it's going to be a reality slap in the face. And so, what you're telling them is this is my story, but let me tell you to you so you are a little bit more empowered and can be ready for this when it hits you and not just walk out the door, cuss them out or yell at them and whatever else, but do it, be professional, get your money, and then, keep it moving.
Absolutely. And please don't be shocked by it.
Yes.
Don't accept it, but don't be shocked because No one told me.
That's exactly right. No one told me.
Nobody.
No
so
one told
for
me.
years, I'm walking around stressed,
Mm-hmm.
disgusted,
Yep.
feeling like I have to battle
Mm-hmm.
because nobody told me this is where it's coming from and this is what you do about it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And so, have you ladies felt any sort of pressure, especially from seeing a lot of images in the media? Have you felt a certain pressure to be any certain way? I know that's very nebulous, but I want to really get your thoughts. Ashlyn, what do you think? Have you felt pressure to look, feel, perform a certain way?
Most definitely. It's funny. I just had this conversation with one of my closest friends at like 3 a.m.
Wow.
And she was talking about she just deleted her Instagram. And it's because at our age, it's these women, it makes you feel like you need to have the really big butt and the big lips, and you need to like be basically naked on social media, and that's the only way you can attract a man or get, you know, people to like you or follow you. So I've also had to take myself off social media because it really will get to your head and it really will mess with your self-esteem, because you really end up comparing yourself to these other women. And in reality, these women are probably, you know, not even happy with themselves inside. And I had to take a step back and realize, like, this life isn't even happy. It's not even a good life. So just separating yourself from social media and just getting off of it really will change you and change your mindset. Because I noticed myself starting to get in a darker place and being, like, I don't know, just like starting to become really mean. So social media is really, I think it's like the devil. It's a distraction. So.
Khadijah, what do you think? Have you felt a pressure because of media images?
Yeah, especially when you watch the movie and you see women like Condoleezza Rice and Hillary Clinton, and they've achieved all these great things, but all they say is talk about what they're wearing, or look at that frumpy suit, or look at, how do you disrespect a woman like Condoleezza Rice?
You can't.
So it's like, how am I supposed to go out into the workforce and be this great person when all you're looking at is this exterior?
So those are some of the thoughts that you've been having from what you've been seeing.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Recent graduate Valerie, who empowers women on campus.
Yes.
Right?
What are you feeling? What are you feeling?
I sometimes fall victim to it, too, only just because I'm not the glitz and glam type female. I'm plus size. I have coarse hair, and with how media portrays how women should look, I feel like I sometimes have to look a certain way. And although I do love having my curls out, I know, like, when I go on these job interviews and things involving with the media, because I'm a communications major, I have to portray a certain image, and they may look at me different or may not want to hire me because they feel like I'm just this strong pro woman who may act out.
That's it.
The way they think that I should act, and I've been noticing that. So I don't know. I guess I sometimes think, like, should I conform to it, or should I just stand in my own and just be confident with that? So that's how I feel with it. And then sometimes you're judged on how many likes you get on a picture.
Wow.
And I have a lot of friends who's very involved in politics. They're very smart, beautiful women, but they don't have their clothes off. So this woman who has her butt out and breast out and looking just any kind of way gets 1,000 pictures, and this person gets 12.
Wow.
So, and they're the ones that will benefit you in the long run. So.
Right. So we've identified how these media images have hit us. Dr. Sloan, when we come back, can we talk to our little sisters and our audience listening and get some tools to start to overcome this?
Definitely.
And for our men listening, we need you. We need you.
Yeah.
Brothers, you are, and by brother, this isn't a race thing.
No.
We are sisters and brothers here. And men, we need you to help drive these conversations and affect this change, because sometimes, often, almost all the time, what women are doing is driven by this perception that men are allowing to permeate our space. So I got to tell you, brothers, you may have started it, but today we're going to give some tools to end this, and we're going to walk this thing out together. You are listening to Zakiya Larry Live.
Zakiya Larry
In a world where the divorce rate is at an all-time high, we're here to offer you real-life relationship advice to help you navigate to and through your marriage.
Whether you're single or married, join us every Wednesday at 7 p.m. for Your Love Empowerment Hour with our new show,
Sitting with the Suttons, where we're all about strengthening our community by making marriage great again. Find us on Facebook at Tristan and Cece. Whether you're single or married, join us every Wednesday at 7 p.m. for your Love Empowerment Hour. Sitting with the Suttons.
Sitting with the Suttons. Wednesdays, 7 p.m. on 1520 KYND.
Actress, radio host, and mother. Please welcome to Money Making Conversation, the incredible Yolanda Adams. Come on out here, girl. Let's talk about the KYND radio launch and all that.
Yes,
Let's talk about it.
radio launch next week, July 6th. We are on live. Myself.
Come on now.
Marcus D. Riley and AV. We are back together. Full force. We are so excited. Can I tell you how excited we are about being at KYND? I mean, look at y'all. Look at y'all. Yeah. This right here is like amazing. Yeah.
Hi, this is Nicole R. Coleman, host of the new show, Super Bold Live. Each week, I will feature real people just like you that have stepped out on faith, overcome fear, and made bold moves that transform their lives. We are creating a community of game changers. Listen in each week and let's help you unleash the power within. Bold talk, bold impact, bold transformation. Be sure to connect with me at www.livesuperbold.com.
Super Bowl Live with Nicole R. Coleman. Tuesdays, 7 to 8 p.m. on 1520 KYND.
The power is here. KYND brings you
on 1520.
Are we on air? Hey, it's Zakiya Larry, and you're listening to Zakiya Larry Live on KYND 1520 AM.
What's your name, please?
It's Zakiya Larry.
That's right. We said it, and we're proud of it.
I can't.
Welcome back to Zakiya Larry Live. We are talking fake news, media versus self-esteem. And I was inspired by the Misrepresentation Project, a Sundance film critically acclaimed with powerhouses from our government and entertainment, talking about the impact of media. And I have joining us in the studio some incredible people. Got Dr. Sonia Sloan, an orthopedic surgeon. We have some recent college graduates, Miss Ashlyn Beeman and Valerie Madison. I'm from the South. I don't know why I draw out everything. And then we have Khadijah Sai, who is a current undergraduate student. And she's at Texas Southern University, actually. Whoop, whoop, go Tigers. And so this is a cross-generational conversation about the impact of media. And all of the ladies here just shared the media's impact. And we're going to be talking to Christina Escobar, who is on the leadership team for this film, Misrepresentation. We want to hear from her why this was important. And so, as a matter of fact, while we're queuing up to get Christina on, Ashlyn is actually my intern and associate producer, and so she'll be, working that piece. But some things that were brought up, not just during the break, but before we went to break, about the workforce and the perception of women, and how scary it is for our women entering the workforce right now because of the treatment of women as really supported by media images. So I want to give a couple of tips to start to overcome your own experience. Dr. Sonia, you are in a male-dominated field, and you experienced some of the things that we outlined before, sexism in the workplace, snide comments. I even shared my own recent story. What are some things that you have done and are currently doing to help you continue to flourish, even in the face of these media-driven stereotypes, and that the ladies here can pull from?
So we give the background of media being, live media, and then we talk about social media. And so live media is probably what I was more influenced by. And so we go back and let's look at what we were influenced by, the generations growing up. Everything from June Cleaver, Leave It to Beaver, Perfect White Woman, to Perfect Children, to Dick Van Dyke and Jane, who never really, from Father Knows Best, she never got credit for what she did. The father always did, Masculine World. Now fast forward to Wheezy and Florida Evans, most of which neither one of us could identify with. One was on Fifth Avenue in a penthouse, and the other one was in the projects in Chicago and was unhealthy, overweight, and viewed negatively. And then we fast forward into the Oprahs, and the black women of today that are really putting it out there. But now I'm starting to watch and see with the music media the images that are out there are like you guys were talking about, where the sexy, over the top. If you got too many clothes on, if you're not showing enough, then I'm not good enough. Even our own Beyonce, I love her, but it's like over the top. And so with all of that, now I'm supposed to walk into a male-dominated operating room and speak my mind and hold my peace and play the game, because that's what it's really about, knowing the rules and playing the game, and flourishing. So how do I compensate that? That literally starts, one, with a relationship with God, because I have to step away from my reality sometimes. My reality is not always the perception of what other people see. So I think you have to separate your perception and your reality. And you were saying, Ashlyn, how you got off of social media, and I commend you for that, because then you stop the visual of what you're seeing. Secondly was, how do you categorize? What do you do? Are you journaling about yourself? How are you perceiving yourself? Are you pouring back into yourself? And so that's part of what my organization, Me and We, does. Motivating and empowering women to excel. It's like putting yourself back on your list. It's like you're doing everything for everybody else. And as you guys are coming out of college, you're going to realize this. Career is going to take over. Family is going to take over. Community involvement is going to take over. And then you're going to say, well, dang, I didn't work out today. Well, dang, I didn't meditate. I didn't pray. I haven't journaled in a while. Man, I was going to actually start this business, or I wanted to do this nonprofit, or I wanted to travel the world. Right. And you look up and time has passed and you haven't done anything for you. Right. So I always say, put yourself back on your to-do list, because you are always going to be the priority. So if you are the beautiful black women that we know you're going to be, and you already are, is that you have to make yourself a priority and not be afraid to be the strong woman you are. Absolutely. Because even in being in that environment, and me being the strong woman and being the confident woman, if I said anything, it was, she's being a bitch today, or it was, she must be PMSing, or it was, it's a black thing, So that's terrible, isn't it?
Level
yeah,
too,
it's a bullying level.
It's a bullying level, and we're talking about media and perception, and it affects all women.
Yes.
What's interesting is that added layer of the perception of race as well. So
totally.
That's really fascinating. That could be a whole show by itself.
It is.
I think this might have to be another special series, ladies.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think so.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
So I want to touch on something that you shared, Sonia, especially combating this sort of treatment in the workplace. Because, like I said, I shared my stories, but to our listening audience and to our young ladies in the studio, and really to expound upon what Sonia just shared, it's about mindset, and it's about speaking up. Yeah. And that's something for years I was uncomfortable doing because of the labels. That even when I was in an environment where I was being mistreated because of my gender, I didn't feel I could speak up because of my race. So I felt doubly suppressed, because if I spoke up, then I'm an angry black woman.
Yep.
That's an entirely separate issue. Yeah. And I have been in scenarios in which myself and a colleague of a different race would speak up about the same things, and it would be better received from another colleague, just because we were two different colors. And so that's a separate conversation, but what I will say is still speak up and stand in your truth. Yes. Because with that story I told you about a colleague that I worked with that could only comment on how I look in professional situations when I'm bringing in millionaire influencers, and this person is always saying things like, oh, this pretty lady. I literally in that moment say, and also journalist, executive producer, international speaker, international award winning, and all right,
respect.
And here's the thing, it's still uncomfortable for me to say, and you should see the faces of the people around me. They stop and go, oh. But it had to be done, because every time I don't say anything is every time it continues to happen. And so finding our voice as women to combat these images that are permeating media is really important. So standing in your own truth. And so to that point, I have a guest that I'm super excited to talk to. We're talking to Christina Escobar, and she is the Director of Communications for the Representation Project. And misrepresentation is one of the groundbreaking things that they have shared with the world. Good morning. How are you, Christina? Awesome, awesome. Thank you for joining us. How are you this morning? So, Christina, can you tell us a little bit about why the Misrepresentation Project was an important project to share with the world? I think we're having a problem with Christina's audio, so we're going to have my team continue to work on that. But what we will do is I'll go ahead and have our in-studio panel jump in here because you all had a chance to see misrepresentation. How did you feel after you watched that film? Anybody can just jump in. I know Khadijah wants to say something.
Well, because
I'm
kind of going through a situation at work when, as a woman, I'm training for a supervisor position, and when I tell them to do something or something that I'm supposed to tell them, they'll look around me and talk to the male supervisor behind me.
That's it.
So watching that movie, it's like it made me question, like, how do we get to a point where I don't have to feel this way? You know, I feel like I've earned my position at this place, so how do I not feel this way and I can just step up?
Right, right. That's huge. Yeah. Have you been in that scenario, especially as a doctor? Has a patient looked around for the male
Oh, I've
doctor?
had the walk in the room, even a black man at the VA said he wanted a white doctor. That's the ultimate slap in the face. Because it's that idea of we're not good enough. I want to be a woman, but then being a black woman, it was not, my education wasn't good enough or whatever. But definitely even with the students, because we train. So as I got higher and I had to train the students below me, it was one of those like, if I can bail you out, then I'm good. So it was like, I let him fail, and then he had to call, he had to ask, he had to, and then he realized, okay, she's actually better than I thought. So you don't have to always prove yourself. Just keep doing the repetition, and people will see the work that you're doing.
I love that you don't have to always prove yourself because what I noticed in the film, and we keep talking about the film, but you can call in 832-230-5592 and talk about your experience as a woman combating the stereotypes that you see in media, but also men. We need to hear from you. Why do you think some of your brethren think it's okay to simply comment on a woman's physical and not her intellect, even when they call her in to save the day? We want to hear because we need to understand and not just have these conversations in silos. So somebody please come shed some light on the shenanigans that are running amok in our nation right now. But absolutely. So I love the standing in your truth, standing in your power. And it really is uncomfortable to have someone look around you and look for the man. And we've seen this in the news. You can turn the TV on today and still see this, that even presidential candidates, whether you agree with their politics or not, there were questions about breast implants and facelifts. And can we talk about the policies? Can we talk about their education? Can we talk about, and so it was a lot of those kind of conversations about female candidates for public office. Absolutely heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking. And what I noticed is, and right before we go to break, I'll use this example about walking that line. One of the things I noticed with Sarah Palin's campaign is that she drew, and the film Misrepresentation touches on this, she walked that line between being hyper feminine and going ahead and just playing into that and still running her campaign. Hillary Clinton decided to try to lean a lot more neutrally with her femininity, but both of them at the end of the day were still absolutely picked apart. At the end of the day. And so this isn't about, woe is me, depression and doom, but it is illuminating what's happening in every single field, politics, medicine, media. And standing in your truth and power, speaking up is one of the ways. And when we come back, we'll give some additional tips on how we can start to change this narrative as women, but we need the men to do it because often men are driving some of these pieces. So we can only do as much as we can alone. It takes all of us. When we come back, we're going to continue fake news, media versus self-esteem. You are listening to Zakiya Larry Live.
Hey, it's your elevation strategist, Zakiya Larry, and you're listening to Zakiya Larry Live on KYND 1520 AM.
Zakiya Larry Live. Actress, radio host, and mother. Please welcome to Money Making Conversation, the incredible Yolanda Adams. Come on out here, girl. Let's talk about the KYND radio launch and all that.
Yes,
Talk about it.
radio launch next week, July 6th. We are on live. Myself,
come on now,
Marcus D. Wiley, and AV. We are back together, full force. We are so excited. Can I tell you how excited we are about being at KYND? I mean, look at y'all. Look at y'all. Yeah. This right here is like amazing. Yeah.
Hi, this is Nicole R. Coleman, host of the news show Super Bold Live. Each week, I will feature real people just like you that have stepped out on faith, overcome fear, and made bold moves that transform their lives. We are creating a community of game changers. Listen in each week and let's help you unleash the power within. Bold talk, bold impact, bold transformation. Be sure to connect with me at www.livesuperbold.com.
Super Bowl Live with Nicole R. Coleman. Tuesdays, 7 to 8 p.m. on 1520 KYND.
The power is here. KYND brings you star power. Yolanda Adams.
Can I tell you how excited we are about being at KYND?
Les Brown.
On KYND, you have something special. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Rushion McDonald.
Show some love. Show some love. We trying to make it sound big up in this joint.
Access the power at KYNDradio.com.
We are so excited at KYND to have back the hit show Do What I Say, featuring Dr. Polly Heil Neely. Doc, tell them a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, we're a holistic healthcare clinic. We do everything holistic at Abundant Health and Wellness Clinic, and that's located.
Welcome back to Zakiya Larry Live. We're talking fake news, media versus self-esteem, particularly as it relates to women.
Yep.
And I was inspired after viewing the film Misrepresentation. I was speaking at the YWCA. They hosted a screening, and I was fortunate enough to drive that conversation after the screening of the film. So we have with us one of the leaders of the Representation Project, Christina Escobar. So Christina Escobar will be joining us and talking to us about the Representation Project and misrepresentation. And so before we get into that, we have a couple of comments on Facebook that I want to share with you guys. So remember, use hashtag ZLLive, and you can talk to us. And so one of our comments, it's a question actually from Joanna. What is your advice for us women when we discover it's time to walk alone? Wow. I would say take a deep breath. And similar to combating these images, know what you want to do.
Yeah.
Know where you want to go. You don't have to know the how, but as long as you know what, then you can not be thrown off path as easily. Be very clear on what you want, because when you're walking that thing along, distractions will come.
Yeah.
So get very clear, laser focused clear clear on where you want to go.
There's a side of women that starts when we're very young, and it's a guilt side. So I would give you permission. After going through a lot of different trauma and drama, so many times we don't give each other as women permission to be where we are and do what we need to do that's best for us. And so sometimes you just need to give yourself permission to say, you know what, it's okay for me to tend to me and for me to do the best thing for me. And if it's okay, or if it's time to walk, then I'm okay with that, and I'm going to be okay, and I'm going to survive this just like anything else. We get so attached to ideas, concepts of everything from marriage to children and whatever else, and if that's not working out or not good for you, then some people will stay in it and be miserable. So give yourself permission.
Give yourself permission. I love that. Let's talk to Christina Escobar. I know we have been anxiously anticipating her. Good morning, Christina.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us here. So misrepresentation is incredibly impactful. Why, especially with you being the director of communications, why is this a message you think is important to push out to our country and the world?
Absolutely. Yeah. So the media sends this damaging message that a woman's worth lies in youth, beauty, and sexuality, no matter what she accomplishes. Take a look at how entertainment, sports, and political journalists are always talking about women's appearance. It doesn't matter if you're nominated for an Oscar, about to win Olympic gold, or running for president. The media will reduce you down to what you look like. We at the Representation Project made misrepresentation to pull back the curtain on this damaging narrative so we can change it and change the culture underlying it. Our goal is for everyone, regardless of gender, race, class, age, you name it, to be able to reach their full human potential. And the media is making that harder to do. And I think that's wrong, and it's time for it to change.
Absolutely. So, Christina, you've had a chance to interface with some of the best and brightest women the world has ever seen. And you just made a comment. It's time for us to change, time for us to make a change. What are some of the solutions that you've been hearing from these powerful women? And I know the goal of the project is to bring about solutions. What's maybe one that's been sticking out to you?
Absolutely. So one of the things we're seeing a lot of success with is what we call consumer power. And that is saying, you know what, women hold 85% of the purchasing power in the United States, and we have this big ability to change the marketplace. You know, sexism is selling, but it's kind of selling because it's the only thing being offered. So if we can push and say, no, I won't buy your hamburger, I won't, you know, buy your magazine. If you're trying to send me this limited message about what it is to be a person, then we can make a big difference. And we see this online, you know, from the pulling of sexist ads, the change in products being offered. We have a hashtag campaign called Stop Buying It that came out with and with something that.
So let me illuminate that. You're saying
something sexist, something
right
limiting in the media that you don't like, you can post it with that hashtag, not buying it. And
so, Christina, would you happen to be on a speakerphone? Christina,
stepping out and saying,
I think we're having issues with the audio team. Okay. Christina, if you can still hear me, if you are on a speakerphone, if you'll take it off of speaker. But you said something really interesting. She said $1. Mm-hmm. Christina, wow.
Money.
Christina said it comes down to money. Yep. And if we as women are not purchasing those products that are being sold to us with sexist images, then that'll start to shift. Christina, wow, I love that. And another thing she said is the Representation Project, they also use hashtags, you know, don't buy that or not buying that. And she's going to tell us what that hashtag is when we bring her back. But what I would love to do is hear from a man. Mm-hmm. We have a caller on the line that we want to bring in. So, okay. Never mind. Our caller has left the building. I hope we didn't scare him away. But I love that. Mm-hmm. That start with the dollar, the purchasing power.
I think so.
Yeah.
You have to.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So, Christina, you still here with us?
I am. Sorry for the technical difficulties.
Wow. Thank you for staying with us. We were just lauding your solutions here. We love that. We love that it comes down to the purchasing power. How can we get involved with the Representation Project, and what all can we experience with the Representation Project?
Absolutely. So the best to get started is therepresentationproject.org, and there's a bunch of stuff you can do there, but one of the big ones is the film. Watch Misrepresentation, second film amount to live in your community, like the YWCA did there with you. From there, you'll start a big conversation about ways to make change, and I invite folks on our website, representationproject.org, to take our pledge, and then you'll start receiving emails with small actions you can take to make a big difference. That's a great place to start. Or if you're more of a social media person, follow us as well, and you'll see ways of getting involved in the conversation, seeing out the intersectionalities, and really advance the movement.
Absolutely phenomenal. Ladies and gentlemen, Christina Escobar with the Representation Project. Wow.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us. Of course, the representationproject.org. You have got to watch this film. And I really believe people should host screenings of misrepresentation. And I would love to see some screenings with men so that we can have an open dialogue. Christina, what do you think about that? Should we host some screenings with men too?
Absolutely. Men are very welcome.
I love that. I love that. Christina, thank you so much for joining us this morning on Zakiya Larry Live. So, panel, thank you so much. Oh, my gosh. This has been an incredible discussion.
Mm-hmm. It's an eye-opener.
Definitely an eye-opener. So, really quickly, tell us how we can follow each person on social media. We'll start down here with Valerie.
Okay. Well, all of my social media handles are the same. It's Val Madison, 1D.
Okay.
And on Facebook, just Valerie Madison.
Valerie Madison, and it's Val Madison. Yes.
All of my social media are the same. Hey, it's KK with 2 E's. And my Facebook name is Khadijah, Kadija, Sy, S-Y.
I love it.
And I'm Sonia Sloan, MD, on all social medias except for business page. I am Sonia Sloan, MD. And I'm also #orthodoc.
Love it.
And on all social media, I'm just being Ashlyn.
I love that. On all social media, I'm Zakiya Larry. People are like, how do you spell that? Here we go. Z as in zebra, A-K-I-Y-A. A lot of vowels. Z-A-K-I-Y-A, Larry, Larry.com. And thank you for spending your Monday with us. Thank you for spending your Monday and elevating your week with me on Zakiya Larry Live. Now, let me give you your 1-minute elevate before we get out of here. Perceptions can be driven from things outside of you, but those same perceptions don't have to live inside of you. You can stand in your power, stand in your truth, speak up for yourself, and still be the brilliant, fabulous, talented, gorgeous woman